Um, we'll start with deities, we'll end with deities. Wow. Say it? I didn't...
Bādhaka.
This is related. It's all connected. Okay. So what's the first page is page 22. So that's, if we remember, we end it. Bādhaka can't be seen. So we need remedies that can't be seen. When was the last time you saw Vishnu? What about Shiva? Like actually met Shiva and said, "Oh, afternoon, Mahadev." We don't see. So it's higher. We feel, we can perceive, we can understand. So I just printed. Oops. And then Rahu. Too early.
Start Bādhaka and it falls down.
So page 22, yeah.
So page 22, 23. We have the Vishnu avatars that Guruji talked about, we talked about. We know when to use them. Whenever it's Ishtadevata, we always use the Vishnu avatars, if possible, unless the person has... We talked about that last week. Then this next list is what Parashara gives for non-Vishnu avatars. He gives us Agni, which is the fire for the sun. He gives us the water for the moon. He gives us Skanda, Kartikeya for Mars. He gives us Indra for Jupiter. Sachi is the wife of Indra for Venus. Brahma for Saturn, and Vishnu for Mercury. Now, Agni and water, in Vedic religion, the fire itself is worthy of worship, and you have a fire and actually do worship to that fire itself. Or you go to the river and you worship the water itself. It's so just an important thing. And then if you have your Vedic remedies, it's, what's the next page? We have all these Varga deities in between. And the Varga deities are, when we're working with Varga charts, we go to page 47. And you see on 47 is Harihara's view. And let's see. I'm going to read straight from Harihara. Maybe.
What page is the
Prashnamarga, we are, I'll tell you that one in a minute. Because this chart comes from Prashnamarga. So we should go to the source, yeah? Favorable and unfavorable karma, 496. So, and just to show you, everything in this, even this book, everything is coming from qualified sources, this information in this book. Favorable and unfavorable karma. Whether one's past karma is favorable or unfavorable, and in what manner it expresses itself, should carefully be divined by the astrologer. We have to figure out what's good, what's not good. And as soon as he says that, all of a sudden he starts talking about deities. And so let's see what Harihara says. Jupiter represents the one supreme divinity. If he is favorable, all deities will favor the native. If he is not favorable, all deities will be unfavorable. Pretty heavy statement there. So Jupiter represents the supreme divinity. He represents the person's concept of God. What is their concept of God? What is their relationship to God? Whatever the religion they are, that is their Jupiter. So if they're Vaishnavite, we use Vishnu. If they're Shaivite, we use Shiva. We really whatever the person believes is God, that's what we use as Jupiter. What's the little thing here? Mahavishnu or Narayan. Okay. The one supreme divinity. Stanza 4. The sun, irrespective of the sign he is in, represents Shiva. The sun in all signs is Shiva. He also stands for Subramanya or Ganapati accordingly as he occupies the first or second drekana of a common sign. So common signs are dual signs. First drekana is Kartikeya and second is Ganapati. And Ganapati and Kartikeya are the children of Shiva.
Subramanya is another name
For Kartikeya. Subramanya, Kartikeya, Guha. What are some other names?
Is there a list, a chart that shows all the synonyms, basically? That's bugging me.
Every deity has at least 108 names. At least, minimum. When you get to Vishnu and Kali, they have 1,008 names. So, and intentionally. So it's more just a matter of learning them than anything else. But the most of Subramanyam and Kartikeya are the two primary names. And Skanda. Yeah. And so the thing is, they're children. And basically, they are Shiva energy. They are the essence of Shiva. They're aspects of Shiva. So in these signs, we use these secondary Shiva Rupas. And it's not necessary, but sometimes you'll see that the indication does show that the person has that relationship with that deity, or they need to have a relationship with that deity. So an important thing when we're trying to figure out what does the sun represent. Now this, if it's Ishtadevata and its sun, we directly go to Rama. If it's not Ishtadevata, then we start looking at Shiva. If it's in a common sign, first drekana means first 10 degrees, we look at, so everybody understand, like we have an order of where what we're taking as primary. The moon, if strong, stands for Durga. If weak, represents Bhadrakali. And in addition to being weak, if the moon occupies a Martian sign, it denotes Chamundi with dark attributes. So a strong moon is Durga, weak moon is Kali, and if there's any Mars connection, if it's in a Mars sign, conjunct Mars, aspected by Mars, it's a goddess called Chamunda. And Chamunda is a fierce form of Kali.
Fiercer than Kali.
Yes. If you want to know about the relationship between Durga, Kali, and Chamunda, there's a book called the Devi Mahatmya. And in that is the story of their relationship and how they relate and who came first and how one manifested from the other and why.
Devi, spell?
Devi Mahatmya. They also call it the Durga Saptasati. It's the same text. And so, strong moon, weak moon, what does that mean to you? How do we know it's Kali? How do we know it's Durga?
If it's a strong or a weak moon,
Yeah.
by its condition, if it's exalted or nicha, or if it's full or weak.
Primarily, we're going by full and new. Yeah.
What if it's a full moon in the 12th debilitated?
We have to take all factors into account. If we don't have too much time, so I'm not going to go. We could spend the whole class just. There he goes with the book you just wrote down. Right now is the time of the year. It started last Monday. Today's the 6th day.
It's on Tuesday.
Navaratri?
Navaratri. You're supposed to read the Devi Mahatmya and worship the Durga, Kali, and Chamunda at this time, right now. If you go to my website, there's a thing called the Moon as Mother. And in it goes through multiple calculations. Which tithis, which planets, Rahu, Ketu aspects, benefics, the whole system. Right now we're going to gloss over a little. Then we have Mars in odd signs denotes Subramanya and Bhairava, etc. In even signs, deities is Chamundra and Bhadrakali. So even signs, they're feminine. And so it's showing Mars showing as a feminine deity, as a goddess. Bhadrakali means fierce Kali. Chamunda we just talked about as a fiercer form of Kali. Then in masculine signs, odd signs, we get Kartikeya, who's Subramanya, or Bhairava. Bhairava is this form right here. That's Bhairava. And Bhairava is a form of... Some people say he's Shiva, some people say he's the son of Shiva. It's just showing that the connection of the energy. Some say it's one of the heads of Shiva who incarnated as his son. Bhairava is a protector deity. And Jagannath Guru is Patal Bhairav. So it's that form of Shiva as very protecting the underworlds. Then Mercury in movable and common signs shows avatars of Vishnu. If he occupies the first and second drakanas of fixed signs, he indicates Krishna. If he occupies the third drakana of the same, he stands for Vishnu in general. Now, most of the time, that third drakana, we see here you have Sri Vishnu avatar, Sri Krishna, and then again Sri Vishnu avatar. Generally, it shows up more as Devi, that third drakana. It'll be, Mercury will show up as Tripura Sundari or Lalita. If Mercury has any connection to the moon, it also becomes Lalita.
What does Lalita mean?
Form of Tripura Sundari. It's the main form of the goddess worshipped by Amaji. Every day they read Lalita Sahasranam, the 108 names of Lalita. 1,000 names. 1,008 names of Lalita. Now, Jupiter represents Vishnu as he governs divinity in general. His nature can be understood from the sign he occupies and from the planets he associates with. So the general thing is Jupiter, when we say Jupiter is connected to Vishnu, he is connected into the broad Maha Vishnu, the larger aspect of Vishnu. Or when we say Mercury is connected to Vishnu, we're talking about when Vishnu comes down and takes incarnation, that more avatar rupa. So a certain limitation comes on. Mm-hmm. Venus signifies Annapurneshwari, Lakshmi, and Yakshi. So Venus in Sattvic signs, does he list it here? Yeah. Venus in Sattvic signs is Annapurna. Annapurna, Anna means food, Purna means fullness, completeness. Anna can also mean nourishment. So she's she who's giving complete nourishment. She who is the entire nourishment. She who's all that you need. So when Venus is in Sattvic signs, she's Annapurna. And as Annapurna, you're praying to Venus saying, Mother, thank you for providing me with everything. Thank you for all the blessings and comforts I have. Your prayers to her is very sattvic. When we have the Rajasic sign, we get Lakshmi. Lakshmi is, Mother, I don't have enough. I need more money. Mother, please shower your blessings down upon me. There's more Rajas there. Not to say that it's negative. We need to live. We need to survive. But there's just a Rajas element of needing more there. When it's in the Sattvic sign, we're completely content. And we're just giving thanks. When it's in the Rajasic sign, we begin to ask. Now when it's in a Tamasic sign, here it says Yakshi. Anybody want to define what a Yakshi is? Anybody know Yakshi?
It's not like it's like a goddess or a disembodied entity that's kind of does, I don't know, plays tricks on people or something? Or...
Only if you're bad, they'll play tricks on you. Normally, Yakshas and Yakshis live in the forests, live in parks.
Oh, yeah.
They're basically nature spirits.
Okay.
The spirit of a tree generally will come as a Yaksha.
So they're not always up to mischief?
No, don't have to. They can. That tree out in my front yard, it's not up to mischief. It can be if it depends more on your relationship to the. So in general, Hara is saying Yakshi, but from our tradition, we don't go out and worship Yakshis. We don't go out and worship the spirits of trees and flowers and stuff. We use Radha. Radha removes the tamasic energies from Venus. In doing a little bit more the nature worship, not particularly nature worship, but worshipping deities of trees and things of that nature, is a little bit more tamasic level. And so we want to be raising to a higher level, to things that are having larger amounts of knowledge and tapping into that. Here in Prashna Marga it says Saturn rules Shashta and Karata, and Rahu symbolizes the serpent god. Now Shashta and Karata, there's 1 or 2 temples in southern India, but other than that there's not really much of that left. So generally Narayan is used. What's Guruji list here? Shashta and Karata. Most often we use Narayan for Saturn. We can also look at Brahma, but you often don't worship Brahma. Ketu is connected to Ganesh. Okay. So, why are we looking at these deities? And we have to be able to look at every planet in the chart and understand what deity they're representing. So, we'll go back to that. We'll move a little bit more forward now.